That's possible. So I entertain that. You see what I'm saying? We got to separate religion from liberation. We got to adapt. Adapt it all for liberation. Get it come out of our capitalistic utopias where these nice, neat people come together. You follow what I'm saying? To use capitalism to maintain these beautiful social groups. Come out of that. Revolution gets sloppy. It do. It gets very sloppy when it comes to the inner social. But when it comes to freedom, it gets very neat. Because all of us agree we're not going to be oppressed. We're not going to be under this European. That's security. That's security. Some things will have to be figured out for us to become more effective. Freedom is not something we all have to figure out. That's something we all clear about. We're clear on not being under this European. Now, it's easy to see when something or somebody is not effective. The white man's institutions are less religious than ours, but they know when somebody is not effective. If you said you was going to do that and you was put in that position and you didn't handle that mission, you're ineffective. I don't know how to see how many cigarettes you smoke, how much you ate. You're ineffective. Ineffectiveness is easy to see. Incompetence is easy to see. You don't need religion to see incompetence. Gods don't need religion because they're competent. Their word is bond. Am I correct? That's the religion. Your word being bond is your religion. Bottom line. What you speak, the words create your universe. Your words create your world. That's your religion. So if we see somebody, we ain't got to say, well, because this person drinking, because this person doing this, or they bipolar, or whatever. You're incompetent. Somebody else in their job. We don't have to get into all the manners of incompetency. Because somebody else could drink and be solid in that position. Somebody else could smoke cigarettes and be solid in that position. Do you hear what I'm saying? But if we start making it about our judgments and just making up stuff, then we get away from what? The security of the position. And then we're looking for reasons to judge people and prove how we're better than people. And we're not. We're either all free or we're all slaves. You hear me? You can't be a better slave. There's no such thing. You're either slave or you're free. Was the house Negro a better slave than the field Negro? No, they both were slaves. If you think they were a better slave, it's because you still are one. That's a fact. The party mentality, I have to go in on that. We're plantation partiers. We're more motivated to party and work for partying than we are willing to be motivated to what? Liberate our people. This is a party for me. Freeing up our people, that's fun. The work that is taken, knowing that we're going to look up and a few months from now, half this community is going to be ours, man, that's fun. I'm excited about that. And it's spiritual because I know my power of being a God is manifested because I speak and so it is. I decree it and so it is, right? In the beginning was the word become flesh and dwelt among us. So I'm a God because I speak that into existence. That's spirituality. Not because I'm deeper than you, because I can make my word manifest. I said I came up here to manifest a nation, build a nation, to be here and build a nation, and it's going to happen. That's spiritual. Because if you got all the spiritual power, what would you do with it? You will create and manifest something with you. So if you're not able to create and manifest, but you have spiritual knowledge and depth of knowledge, then I got to start believing that you're a scam artist, right? Or some type of a hoax. Because if you got all this spiritual knowledge, then you could produce a spiritual result, right? In the universe. So when we manifest our goals, we are showing and proving that we have great spiritual knowledge and that we have obtained a spiritual level of discipline, devotion, determination, and integrity. So our spiritual system is result orientated. Some of us are getting high off weed. Some of us are getting high in our own minds. We astral projecting ourselves off to come back into imprisonment. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're just leaving ourselves at night, but we're turning back during the day. We got to manifest a spirituality in this world where our enemies look upon us and see spiritual masters. They don't see their slaves no more. They see spiritual masters in our work. And you know what? They see their masters when they look at us. I want to go into this. Changing your self-image. Very important. Very important piece. When you do something, you go back and play back some of the actions and stuff that you did in the past. You have an image of yourself doing it. It does not look like, it's not play by play what happened. If I said visualize yourself being in the bathtub this morning or being in the shower this morning, visualize yourself and what you were doing. You're going to give an image in your mind that's not consistent with what happened. It's not detail orientated. It's something your mind made up as a placeholder for you. In every situation that you have been in your life, if you look back, you have a placeholder of yourself. Think of the image of yourself doing it. For some of us, that image is very weak. You understand what I'm saying? But it's made up. It's not real. You can see yourself damn near however you want to. Follow me with this. But you see something that is not consistent with reality, but it's a definite placeholder in time. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? But this placeholder in time is something that's feeble. Something that's weak. But I'm telling you, if you can change that placeholder in your mind of the image of yourself, that the rest will conform to it. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's like a dog when you throw the ball. The dog just runs and gets the ball wherever it goes. The dog is your subconscious mind. Your conscious self throws the ball. You follow what I'm saying? We just been trying to wag our way into success. You feel me? But we got to be that conscious thrower to throw that ball and let that dog run to the point. We got to change our self-image. And we can't have a good self-image saying we're sick. You know what I'm saying? We're diseased. We have these problems. We got to work through this. We got to do this. We can't. We're throwing the ball in the wrong direction, thinking we're helping ourselves, but we're not. We have to entertain our own perfection. Do you hear me? In our minds, we have to entertain that we're perfect now, because how you see yourself is how those that come among you see you. You know what they see? They see that image that you hold of yourself. They don't even see what you look like. They see how you see yourself, and they deal with that. Our enemies come. They say, we want to destroy this black nation. They see me how you see me. Do you hear me? They see each other how we see each other. If we don't see each other as perfect, they move on our imperfections. The chain is as strong as its weakest link. The thought of imperfection that we hold in ourselves is our weakest link. Do you hear me? And that's where all the gossip, backbiting, clickism, that's why organizations split up. Because they're too focused on the imperfections in themselves. They can't hold the idea of perfection. If something hold together, it must be perfectly suspended, right? It must be perfectly held by something. This building stands up because this foundation can be assumed as perfect. Now we can question that. Can a tornado hit it and blow it over? Or we can question all these things. But we know this building is standing up right now, right? Because its foundation is perfect. Any imperfections in the foundation, the building falls. But this building is perfect right now. But it ain't a pyramid, though. If we compare it to a pyramid, it's imperfect, though. So then we can compare it to things to start finding reasons of why it's not perfect. And we're chiseling at the walls. That's what you call that. We're bringing it down ourselves. This will be seen as perfect as we see it. Somebody come here now, it'll be seen as perfect as we see it. You say, I could get Baba to come up here, but this ain't perfect. That's in your mind. Slavery is more perfect. If we make this look more like slavery, then they'll want to come. They'll feel all right up here. If we make this, get in their own space away from Negroes, they'll be happier. They ain't got to see no nigger every day. It'll be a better space. They can go and close the door and lock themselves off from other black people. Do you hear what I'm saying? This would be a more Come on, let's be honest with ourselves. We have to have, and all I'm saying is, in order for this to be perfect and for its perfection to be accepted, we must be able to hold the idea of this perfection in our own mind. We must be able to hold the reality of this perfection in our own mind. Because if a vampire or some weakness wants to come through here, what does we got to come through? The imperfect parts. And I say that's why the police can shoot up our whole family member. And a partner could be with him and say, I think everything was done by the book. Because they maintain the idea of perfection about what they do all the time. We cannot do that. We're looking for a reason to judge another person, to bring another person. That's the crab in the bucket mentality. We're looking for a reason to say somebody's not doing nothing. We got to find a better way. We got to find better ways to communicate to enrich ourselves. That's why I said, don't say that your brother's stealing from you. Say that your brother borrowed from you. Only the white man can steal from you. Every negative that we have been used to project on ourselves to pull each other down, we need to turn it into a positive. Everything that the white man will use to bring us down must be turned into a positive. Do y'all hear me? Everything. Because he will use it. And he can only get in through the weaker parts. Black devils can only get in through the weaker parts. We get mad for a moment, we will go gossip, thinking we just venting. Black devils is soaking it up. Oh yeah, really? That nigga what? Oh yeah, we got that shit need to come down. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Everybody we talk to, we have to have, it's perfect. We want them to come, we want to come into it, so we're sending out Facebook messages and we're sending out, messages to try to get people. But our mentality about it is that it's imperfect. What frequency are we sending into the universe? While we're doing something physically to create it, we threw the ball in the mud. So the dog run into the mud. Do you hear what I'm saying? The subconscious mind being the dog. The mud, the ball being the vision, the image that's being held. And the thrower being you. You follow what I'm saying? So while we're saying one thing, it's we nation building up here, we are constantly moving in the meditation of the imperfection of our situation in one another. And it's not going to be better until we see it perfectly, until we come up with the perfect idea from the state of perfect thought. We come up with the perfect solution. I said, I got a strategy where we can become wealthy in 2 seconds. And we can become completely wealthy. Find the perfect use of everything that you have. You'll become wealthy in 2 seconds. Matter of fact, I will go as far to tell you that there's no other way to wealth than the perfect use of everything that you have. And if you're going around seeing everything that you see imperfectly, how can you find its perfect use? How can it be used if everything becomes garbage, don't it? But then when you start seeing perfection, like, wait a minute, I could take that, I could use that to build that. Wait a minute, put that together. Now, wow, that's $1 million invention. The difference between $1 million invention and garbage is the mind of the person looking at it. Do you hear me? To one man is garbage and to another man is perfect. I can use that. Perfect. That's the piece I've been looking for. Thank you. Give you $1 for it. We have to gain perfect black minds. We have to have perfect